The just passed bills C-48 and C-69 are just the federal government's latest attack on the Canadian energy industry. C-48 is the so-called tanker ban on BC's north coast. It is now the only piece of coastline in the world where tankers are banned. Tankers move oil from Alaska to Puget Sound every day, so the ban will do nothing about them. It is solely designed to prevent any attempt to run a pipeline from the oil patch to Tidewater in Prince Rupert. It is aimed squarely at the province of Alberta, the primary oil-producing region in the country. The government talks about protecting our pristine coastline and the adjacent area to the Great Bear Rainforest, which in itself is a fabricated term by the eco-loonies that seem to hold so much sway with the Trudeau government. Bill C-69 is little more than a regulation creator to make bringing any energy megaproject to life next to impossible. Neither of these two laws, just approved in the Senate, will do a single thing to help Canadians or make our lives better. Quite the contrary, they act as a throttle to the energy industry, which is the engine of the Canadian economy. This comes on the heels of the annual survey by Export Development Canada, which showed confidence among Canadian exporters is at the lowest level since the European debt crisis 7 years ago. Governments have a role to play in the economies of their countries. The government of Justin Trudeau has done damage to the Canadian economy with their virtue signaling on gender equity, their failure to negotiate a new NAFTA agreement while Mexico and the US hammered out an agreement, while our Prime Minister surfed in Tofino. The imposition of a carbon tax and higher payroll taxes on business are job killers, and they're inflation triggers. Canadian GDP is staggering along, in positive territory, but just barely. Contrast this with the economy of our neighbor to the south, which is on fire. GDP is growing there at rates higher than 3% per quarter. Unemployment is at historical lows, especially among minorities, who are reaping opportunities many never even dreamed of. The US has added over 500,000 manufacturing jobs many thought were long gone, which President Obama even said you'd need a magic wand to bring back. Well, apparently not. Canada and the US are each other's largest trading partners, with over $2.6 billion worth of goods crossing the border every day. All President Trump did was lower business taxes, personal taxes, and eliminate thousands of business-killing regulations. In other words, he got the government out of the way of business and allowed his economy to flourish. Trudeau, on the other hand, has increased costs to business and enacted legislation to ensure the sector that drives the Canadian economy is hampered and new investment has almost dried up entirely in the energy sector. Trump got his government out of the way. Trudeau placed his government firmly in the way. It's painfully obvious which is better. For True North, I'm Leo Knight. Unlike the mainstream media and the CBC, we're not getting millions in taxpayer dollars. We rely on Canadians like you for our entire existence. If you like the content of True North, please go to tnc.news and donate. Thank you for supporting independent journalism.